So, welcome everyone to our last chair yoga session of the summer 2025 series. And I really have enjoyed being back with all of you after such a long absence. Um, I know I'm not alone in being in a body that ages, and I know there's others in this group that also have other conditions that make us more aware of our physical being. So I find these classes are really helpful because while it can get frustrating to see how over time the changes seem to worsen, there's also plenty of good news, and that's what I try to focus on is what's moving right. And that's the wonderful thing about yoga is I think you can always find some positive with it. So, with that in mind, recognizing that we are human beings living in a human doing life, we're going to count our blessings today by welcome catch. We're going to count our blessings by bringing in one of the most universal mudras that is used in so many different traditions. It's called the Anjali Mudra, the gesture of reverence for invoking divine union. In many traditions, it's also known as the prayer symbol. So basically, you're just going to bring your hands together right at about your heart center into the Anjali Mudra. And in this tradition, the tradition where I learned these mudras from, this gesture is about uniting the right and left side of the body. And it's about as you welcome the divine, and the divine in this tradition is inside of each of us, that is also the condition of oneness. So your right side represents wisdom, whereas the left side is compassion. And so we're bringing together our wisdom and compassion as we unite with the divine in each one of us. So with that, I invite you to bring your hands into this gesture. And if it's comfortable for you, gently close your eyes. I'll guide you in a meditation. As you hold this mudra, take several natural breaths to attune to all the feelings and sensations awakened by this gesture. Notice how your breath is gently directed into your heart center, inviting your senses to rest inward naturally. As you move more deeply into the center of your being, take several breaths to experience a sense of integration and unity that may arise naturally. For your next few breaths, sense the plane of contact where your palms meet, allowing your awareness to encompass both sides of the body evenly, instilling a sense of complete integration and harmony. I invite you to bring awareness to the right hand, the symbol of wisdom, the sum total of understanding and clarity that you have gained along your spiritual journey. Now I invite you to bring awareness to your left hand as a symbol of compassion, your ability to see that we all share a single journey towards awakening. For your next few breaths, sense the plane of contact where the palms meet, experiencing the integration of wisdom and compassion, knowing that only through their unity can you experience complete awakening. With wisdom and compassion united, take some time to focus your right hand as a symbol of yourself as a devotee, having a personal relationship with the divine from whom you seek blessings. Now again, direct your focus to your left hand as a symbol of the divine itself, the destination of your spiritual journey and the divine source who receives your prayers, devotional love, and offerings. For your next few breaths, sense the plane of contact where your palms meet, experiencing the devotee and the divine as a seamless unity, the oneness of all. Take several breaths to rest in complete oneness with the all-encompassing divinity whose light is the source and essence of all things. And then as you feel ready, I invite you to slowly release the gesture, coming back into the room. And for our first practice, we're actually going to move using this mudra throughout. This is a beautiful song called Long Time Sun that's sung by Snatam Kaur. And Snatam Kaur is actually a very famous Kundalini musician who frequently chants in Sanskrit. This is one of the few songs she does in English. And again, given my Irish ancestry, I'm kind of drawn to the blessing. So we're invoking this sense of, again, Anjali Mudra. And somebody's coming in. Looks like Judy's popping in and out here. Sorry about this, everyone. There she is. Okay. So we're going to start, there's a little bit of an instrumental. We're going to start with our hands in the Anjali Mudra. And then we bring our arms up overhead. And then we're bringing them back down, giving ourselves a hug as there's a lot of swaying in the song, so you may want to just move to the music. And then we're bringing our hands into Anjali Mudra. And this Anjali Mudra then is shining the light within us. And as we shine the light, we're opening up the index finger, middle finger, and ring finger. This is the Lotus Mudra, which is the symbol of rising from the muddiness into the light above. Then we're going to bring that back in. And then we're going to take one hand on the belly. The other one is slowly going out for guidance. The other one is going out for guidance. And then we're repeating this sequence 3 times. Coming in and up. And in the last sequence of 3, there's 3 guiding. So you're taking it on side to side, and then you're going to bring out both sides. And then the end is Satnam, which again is Sanskrit, which translates as I am the truth, or the truth is my essence. So again, that truth refers to the oneness within. So as we do the Satnam, we're going to sway the hands a few times. And then we're going to sway one hand a few times. And then the other hand a few times. And then we're going to cross over into a love. And then we're going to bring our arms up, back into Anjali Mudra, and sway a few times with the Anjali Mudra, coming to an end. Okay. And here we go. Sorry, wrong song.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure
And crossing over. Honoring the divine in each and every one of us. Okay. I'm going to come back forward here because we're going to first concentrate again for our better seeing the oneness in all. We haven't done any eye exercises in this session, so I thought we'd do some eye movements. So if you'll recall, we're just going to look up and down, side to side, then we're going to look on a diagonal each way, and then we're going to go around clockwise and then counterclockwise. So taking it easy, do not force it, just gently gazing up, the neck is neutral, and then gaze down towards your nose, taking it up and down a few times, noticing how that feels. And then bringing the eyes back to center, we're going to go from side to side. And then we're going to look up towards the right in a diagonal, and then down towards the left in a diagonal, taking it up and down in a diagonal fashion. A few times. And then up towards the left and down to the right a few times. And then bringing the eyes back to center. Going to look straight ahead, then we're going to look up, and you're going to imagine that up is 12 o'clock on an old analog clock, and then you're just going to circle around. I think everybody here knows what an analog clock is, so we're going around to 1, 2, 3, so on, coming all the way back to 12, taking it around about 3 times at your pace. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Just be careful about taking it too fast because you could get dizzy. And just be aware of how the eye is moving in that socket. And after you've taken it around 3 times, allow the eyes to rest a minute, perhaps bringing them back to center. If you'd like to close them, feel free to do so. And then open the eyes, and we're going to go back up to 12, and we're going to go backwards. So 12, 11, 10, 9, and again, take it around 3 times. And then whenever you complete that, you can close the eyes. Sometimes it feels good if you rub your hands together, creating a little friction and warmth in the hands. Again, a kind of warming up of the Anjali Mudra, if you will. And then allow the hands to separate and just gently rest over the eyelids. That can feel very nice, especially after having moved the eyes a little bit. Just no heavy pressure on the eyeballs, just a gentle closing off of the sensation of light, perhaps. And then release the hands down. Now let's do some movements of the neck. So we're going to inhale, gazing up. Exhale, releasing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, chin towards the chest, the eyes look down. And again, inhale, gazing up towards the ceiling, chin lifts. Exhale, chin drops as the eyes gaze down towards the nose. Let's take 2 more at your pace. And when you finish that round, allow the head to come back to neutral. And then we're going to exhale as we gaze over one shoulder. Feel the stretch in the opposite side of the neck. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, allowing the head to turn, gazing over the other shoulder. And we're going to do that a total of 5 times, taking it at your pace. Lingering may feel more juicy for some. For some people, you may want to pick up the pace. It's your choice. And just notice how you're moving with your breath. While I may cue the breath where we're exhaling as we turn the head and inhaling coming back, if it feels better for you to reverse that, feel free to do that. Just make sure that as you move, you're pairing your breath with the movement in whatever manner feels good to you. And after you've completed that movement of 5 times on each side, allow the head to come back to center. And then we're going to drop the chin towards the chest. We're going to bring that chin over towards the one armpit and gently shake the head up and down, very gently. We're going to pause the movement of the head, dropping the chin towards the chest, coming back towards center, over towards the other armpit, and again, gentle movement up and down. Pause the movement of the head, bobbing, coming back to center. Inhaling the chin up to neutral. And then we're just going to allow the ear to drop towards one shoulder, back up to center, to the other shoulder. Again, taking it 5 times at your pace. Allowing the head to go as far or as short a distance as is comfortable for your neck at this time. And it can be different on different days. Just notice what it is. And then when you've completed the round of 5, we're going to come back and find our comfortable mountain seat position. So just find that position where the feet are firmly on the floor, about hip distance apart. You've got length in the spine. And we're going to come up on those toes, back on the heels, lifting the toes. Just waking up the feet a little bit this morning. Notice how they're feeling. Maybe there's a little tightness. Just taking it a little bit. And then slide the foot, the ball of the foot, the ball and the heel of the foot forward a little bit. And then lift that toe. Then drop it down, bring it back up, and then lift the heel. So we're sliding forward, lifting the toes, dropping them back down, bringing it in, and coming up on the toes. So just giving a little bit of a leg motion with that foot. Then after you've done that a few times, you're going to take the same motion on the other side, lifting the toes, sliding back, coming up on the toes, lifting the heel, slide forward, lift the toes, come back, then lift the heel, and once more, lift the toes, come back, lift the heel, and then let's just march that out. And then let's bring both feet up and circle the ankles in one direction and then the other direction. And then point the toes and flex, point 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 and flex. Bringing the foot down, and marching that out. And then let's bring our hands up so that the palms are facing away from us, and then we're going to just drop so the fingers face down. So we're just giving ourselves some gentle wrist movements, allowing the fingers to come along for the ride as the motion is really coming from the wrists. And then we're going to circle the wrists in one direction, and then the other direction. And we're going to interlace the fingers and do a kind of infinity circle with those wrists. Again, we're going to shake that out. Then we're going to, palms are facing forward, fingers are spread wide. We're now going to bring the fingers towards the thumb so it looks like a little beak. And then we're going to make a claw, so you're curling your fingers in. So wide hand, beak, claw. Fingers spread wide, coming into a beak, and then claw. Fingers are wide, into a beak, claw. Fingers are wide, into a beak, and claw. And then shake, circle those wrists in one direction, then the other direction. Shake it out. And then we're going to imagine that we're digging up any bulbs that we want to remove now that it's the end of the summer. They've already bloomed, you're going to bring them in. So you're going to stick your thumb as though you're into some dirt, really digging around trying to find that bulb. After you've circled that thumb around a few times, you're going to try it with the index finger, circling in one direction, then the other direction. Maybe even digging in so you're actually bending the joints of each finger. Now you're going to do the middle finger, same thing, circling around and then bend. Digging in. Sometimes as you get to the other ones, it's harder to do, so the ring finger, my other fingers want to come along, circling in one direction, and then digging in as though you're digging up that dirt. And then the pinky, and then dig, shake that out. Coming over to the other side again, circling the thumb, and then imagine digging so that you're like, again, moving all the joints, articulating all the joints of the thumb. And then we're bringing in the index finger, circling, and then moving those joints. Then the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. And now that those fingers are awake, they should be able to play that piano really well. And then we're making our big orchestra movement. And then releasing the hands down. Let's bring those palms together and do our Anjali Mudra again. We're going to take some opposite side movements. So we're going to take one arm up and extend the other leg out. And then bring that arm and leg in, and then the opposite side. 3 times on each side. One leg, and then the other arm. When you've completed your rounds of 3, just bring your hands back into Anjali Mudra. And then we're going to bring those arms up and back down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now we're going to bring the arms up into cactus. The palms are facing each other, and then we're going to turn the palms away from each other. So you're just gently moving the hands towards and away from each other. So this is the same position for your hands when we're in Warrior 1. Then we're going to bring our arms down so that the fingers point down, and then we're going to allow the arms to straighten behind us so the fingers are pointing towards the back wall. Coming back up into our cactus arms, coming so that they face down, straighten and back behind us. Feel the stretch in the front of the body and as the shoulder blades come towards one another. Then coming back up into cactus. Dropping those fingers towards the floor, straightening out the arms as we reach back behind us. And then bring one arm across the other arm. The other arm comes off. We're stretching those shoulders. So the forearm is underneath the upper arm of the one arm. Then we're going to reach across on the other side, again, giving ourselves a nice big stretch. Fingertips to the shoulders, and we're going to circle the elbows forward. Then circle back. Notice if you're getting any snap, crackle, pop. And release the hands down. Maybe take one shoulder up and then the other. And then forward. And then let's bring those shoulders up towards the ears and exhale, relax them down. So inhaling up and exhale. And once more. And shake it out. We're going to do our archer pose now. So the arms come out into a T. We're going to step one foot out. Where that foot is pointed towards the wall, the other hand forms the arrow. Then we come across into our bow, stretching that back body as well as the front body. Feel a nice expansion in the upper part of the body. And breathe. And then press both hands out to either side. Bring that foot in, take the other foot out. Index finger towards the wall, thumb towards the ceiling. Fist across to that shoulder and draw the bow back. And then press both hands out. As we bring that foot in, we're going to take it once more on each side, creating our archer pose. Remembering to breathe. Then press both hands out, bring that foot in, taking the other side out, and draw the bow back. And then bring that foot in. Let's bring our hands together into Anjali Mudra. And then once again, let's stretch out that shoulder. A little bit of a hug. Stretch out the other side. And then bring those shoulders into whatever movement helps release any tension that may be still lingering there. Okay, so I feel like since this is our last summer session, we need to do our swimming practice again. So we're going to start, before we actually swim, we're actually going to do boat pose to feel that contraction in the belly area. So I am seated about midway on my chair. My hands are down by the side. And you can hold on to the chair if that's going to give you more stability. Make sure your sit bones are well grounded into the chair. Drawing the belly in towards the spine, you're going to lift one leg up. If that feels okay, you can lift the other leg up, draw that belly into the spine. Now, only if it feels comfortable, only if you feel you have strength in this contraction, then bring one arm forward, then the other arm forward. If for some reason you're feeling pressure on the back, then feel free to bring those hands down. And just note that as I brought both hands forward, I'm actually leaning back a little bit into my chair, but I have length in my spine. I'm not bending, it's long. I've just got a slight lean backwards. Take a few breaths, Then release one hand down, the other hand down, bring one foot and then the other, maybe march it out. And then again, we're going to do our cross. So start with the arms, taking it around. If it feels okay to bring the legs up and engage in a kicking motion, feel free to do that. And then after you've done that a few times, we're going to pause and we're going to take it backwards into the backstroke. And then after we've done the backstroke a few times, we're going to go with our breaststroke, so coming forward like so. If you want to bring the legs in, you're just circling the bottom of the legs. My knees are together, hinging from the hips, so you're not rounding that back, feeling the length of the spine. And then when you've done enough of that, we're going to bring both legs out as we bring both arms up overhead, and we're imagining those feet are kicking together down into the water. And then when you've had enough, let's pause into our Anjali Mudra, showing wisdom and compassion for ourselves, knowing when we've had enough of those intense movements. Let's bring our palms up into tray pose, imagining we've got an afternoon beverage that we're holding in our palms that we're not going to spill. So we're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. Fingers come towards one another at the top. Exhale, they're coming in towards the torso and then back behind us. Taking it again, coming back to center, up and overhead. And then coming in towards the torso, back behind us. And then last one, coming up and overhead. Fingers towards one another, in towards the torso as we circle back down, back behind us. And then maybe just give yourself a little bit of a hug. And sway a little bit. And then release the hands down. We're going to take one hand towards the shoulder blade for our tricep. Bring the other hand onto that elbow and exhale over. Inhale back up. We're going to come over 2 more times and exhale. Inhale up and exhale over. Inhale up. Release the top arm, then the other arm, and we're coming to the other side now. Inhale the arm up. Exhale over, inhale back up, exhale over, inhale back up, exhale over. And then bring that top arm down, then the other arm. And now we're going to do our bicep curls, just bringing the hands up into a fist and then releasing the fingers wide. Taking it a few times. Know that if you want more intensity here, you can always grab some small weights to build those biceps. And then shake out the hands, the arms. We're going to move into our spinal movements next. Let's start with our lateral bends. So one hand is coming down by the side. I'm about midway on my chair. Inhaling one arm up, exhaling over to the other side, feeling that stretch. Inhale back up, release the hand down. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale back up, exhale the arm down. And again, up, over, remembering to breathe, inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And last set, over on each side, taking it at your pace, nice and gentle, but still feeling the intensity of that stretch. Then when you're done, you can bring the hands back together in Anjali Mudra. So let's now do our twist next. So we're going to bring the hands out in a T. We're going to bring one hand over to the opposite knee. The other arm comes either down by the side or behind the chair as we gaze over that shoulder. And breathe into the twist. Inhale, both arms up. And again, opposite hand to opposite knee. Arm either down to the side or behind. This is a gentle twist. You're just gazing over the shoulder. We're not trying to push it in any way. Both hands up in a T. We're going to take it again on either side. Taking that twist. Finding the place of comfort and ease as we move into it. Remembering to breathe. Hands back up into the T as the hand comes over to the opposite knee. And breathe. And again, once more on each side, your choice to linger as long or as short as you want into the twist. And when you've twisted on both sides, just come back with the palms together in Anjali Mudra. Okay, so now we're going to take the base of the palms to anchor into our hip creases to remind us to keep length to the spine. We're going to inhale, lengthen from the crown of the head, from the tailbone up to the crown of the head rather. On the exhale, we're going to drag those fingertips over the thighs, hinging from the hips. We're keeping length to the spine as we forward fold. Then we're going to inhale back up. 2 more times. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming back up. And breathe. Just notice how that feels. Since we went forward, we're now going to go backwards. So again, making sure you've got enough room on your seat so that your hands can rest behind your back to give a little bit of a back bend. Palms are together in Anjali Mudra. We're going to inhale forward. Exhale, the hands come back behind us. Inhale, we're lifting the chest right from the collarbone, I guess, and draw those shoulder blades towards one another. The chin can be neutral, or if it feels comfortable and you want to gaze up, you can lift it slightly and just breathe. Exhale, release the palms. Coming back into center, we're going to do 2 more of these. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back behind us. Inhale, lift. Draw those shoulder blades together. Feel the lift of the sternum, collarbones, shoulder blades towards one another. Little arch in the lower back if that's comfortable for you. And breathe. And then exhale, release the hands, coming back to the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Last one. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back behind us. Inhale, lift, drawing those shoulder blades together. Breathe. And then exhale, release the shoulders, palms together at the heart center. Take a few moments and breathe. Now we're going to do a few sun salutations. I'm going to propose we do 2. So again, using the same integrity to the spine that we did in our forward fold and our back bend, we're going to inhale the arms up. We're going to exhale, bringing those hands right to the hip creases. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, the hands come under one thigh. And we're going to lift the leg up. Press the foot in. Press both feet in. Inhale. Back to center. We're going to take it on the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Hands to the hip creases. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, part way up. On the exhale, the hands come under the second thigh. Inhale, we're lifting the thigh. Exhale, pressing the foot in. Both feet come in as we come into our sun salutation. One more round, once on each side. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, hands under the leg, lifting that leg on the inhale. Exhale, press both feet in. Palms together at the heart center. One more side. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the hip creases. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, hands under the other leg. Lift that leg on the inhale. Press both feet in as you exhale and inhale back up. And palms together at the heart center. And breathe. Now coming back a little bit further on the chair, that might be more comfortable. We're going to extend one leg up and we're going to circle that leg from the hip. So we're doing a little bit of a leg extension with a circle in one direction and then we're going to circle it in the opposite direction. So the movement's coming from the hip. Be careful of that hip joint. And then gently, as you feel ready, you're going to bend and straighten the leg. Then we're going to release that foot down. We're going to bring the other leg up and we're going to circle in one direction. Then we're going to circle in the other direction. And then again, we're going to bend and straighten that leg. Okay, now let's bring both feet up and let's stretch the toes as wide as they can go and then crunch them so that they're like curling under a little bit. Stretching those toes wide and then curling, kind of like what we did with our crawl hands. Stretching the toes wide and then curl those toes if they curl. And then stretch and curl. Release the feet down. Let's march that out. We're going to come about midway on the chair again. We're going to bring the knee up. And again, we're going to do another set of circles. This time, still the movements from the hip, but we're initiating it using the knee instead of the full leg. And then we're going to circle in the opposite direction. And release that foot down. Then the other side, circling in one direction. And then the opposite side. And release that foot down. We're going to press both feet into the floor as we hinge from the hips, bringing ourselves around in our little pelvic circle. And then after you've taken it around in one direction to your satisfaction, come back to the other side, circling it around in the opposite direction. And now for standing this time, I'm proposing that we do 5 blast offs. So that's going to look like this. We're going to start with 5. So we're going to give ourselves a hug, hinge from the hips. This is number 5. And then exhale, coming back down. And then 4. Exhale, coming back down. This is a really good leg strengthening exercise. Make sure you're maintaining that integrity in the spine, coming back up. We got next one is going to be 2. And our last one is going to be our blast off. So blasting off to standing. Okay. Ooh. My hip creases are feeling that one. Or what they call the hip flexors, right in the front of my legs. Whew. All right, so we're gonna face the chair and we're gonna come up on those toes, back on the heels, lifting the toes. Just gentle movement, noticing how that feels. Just rocking back and forth, and then marching that out. I'm going to face forward, and I'm going to spread my feet wide, And then we're just going to put our hands on our hips if you can. If you need to hold on to the chair for balance, do so. We're just going to bend the knee in one direction and then the other direction. So we're just giving ourselves a little fluidity in those knees. Notice how that feels. Waking up the knee joints. Maybe feeling that in the inner thigh too, depending on how far you bend that knee. And then only if it's comfortable for you. Once you find that position and your feet are wide, if it feels okay, straighten the legs a little bit with a little bit of a hyper bend, just a micro bend to the knee. And then we're just gently going to hinge forward from the hips, keeping length to the spine. We're not going all the way down, just a slight hinge. Hold on to the chair if you need to, and then we're going to come back up. Let's take that again. Again, we're paying attention to these hip creases. That's where we're initiating the movement. Gentle bend to the knees, not a lot. Hinging from that hip, coming forward ever so gently, and then inhaling back up. And notice as you do that, when you come forward, notice how the feet connect more deeply with the floor. One more time. Exhale. As you hinge from the hips, coming forward, the butt is kind of moving towards the back wall. And inhale, coming back up. Bring the feet together, march it out. So we're going to now do a warrior one sequence. As you recall, we're going to step 1 foot back. And then we're going to inhale the arms up into cactus. We're going to exhale, bending that front knee. And just as we did seated, on the exhale now, we're going to drop the hands down. We're going to exhale again, coming forward slightly as we bring the hands behind us. And then coming back up into our warrior one. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring the feet together, march it out. Let's try that again on the other side. So step 1 foot back, find the position that's comfortable for your foot, your feet. Inhale the arms up into cactus. Exhale, bend the front knee. Breathe. Exhale, drop the arms. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little bit. Still micro bend, just as we did in the last movement. On the exhale, we're going to hinge from the hips as the arms come back behind us. So a little bit of a forward fold, not a full one. And then we're going to inhale, coming back. Exhale, release the hand down. Inhale, straighten the leg as we step the feet together. So that's a little bit more of an engagement and a more dynamic movement for our warrior. Okay, let's now do our balance pose. Let's do tree. The leg closest to the chair is the one we're going to balance with. 1 foot comes out with the foot to either the ankle or the calf, your choice. Find a place to focus your gaze. And then when you feel ready, you can bring the hands into Anjali Mudra if you like, or if you want to bring them up into branches of the tree, whatever is good for you. And then whenever you need to release down, use the chair as needed, release the foot down, march it out. And we're going to bring it on the other side. So again, finding the stability of the foot closest to the chair, we're going to turn the other foot out with the ankle or the heel to either the ankle or the sole of the foot to the calf. Make sure you find stability, find a place to focus your gaze, and then find the hand position that works best for you. Remembering to breathe. You don't balance better if you hold your breath. It works better if you breathe. And as you feel ready, you're going to release that foot down. We're going to march it out. We're going to do our little coat sleeves now just to release the hips. We've done a lot of movement from the front of the hips today. And then let's do 3 breaths of joy. I think we can always use breath of joys in today's world. So as a reminder, that's 3 inhales and an exhale. It's inhale, 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 and exhale. 2 more. And 1 more. We're going to turn and face the back of the chair. And then gently walk backwards, stretching out the back body. Maybe pedaling the feet if you like to help stretch out the hamstrings and the calves. Just taking whatever movement feels good to stretch out any remaining tension. And then when you feel like the back body has been fully stretched, you're going to walk to the back of the chair. And we're going to close by combining 2 of my favorite songs in the way that Israel Kamakawiwo'ole does. We're going to do Somewhere Over the Rainbow with It's a Wonderful World. Assuming I find my right version. Okay, I think I've got it. So we all know Somewhere Over the Rainbow, where we start by offering energy out into the world, bringing it in, spreading it all around. We have a half a rainbow, then a full rainbow. First verse, we've got a lullaby. Future verses, we hug it all in. Then we have our saying of someday I'll wish upon a star, and we're stretching out each of the fingers, then the wrist, other side. And then from there, we have 1 more Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Then we go into It's a Wonderful World. So remember, that's the tree where we gaze up. We gaze up, both hands up, as we think to ourselves, what a wonderful world. And then again, we do that same movement and think to ourselves, what a wonderful world. And then we have the colors of the rainbow floating by. We see people holding hands. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And then we jump back into Somewhere Over the Rainbow with this verse where we're moving our hands and feet. And then we end with Somewhere Over the Rainbow and give the energy back out into the world. So here we go, I hope.
Okay, this one's from Gabby. yourself. What a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star. Wake up where the clouds are far behind. Sing it out. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drop. High above the chimney top, that's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't I offer that energy out? And bring it back in. And spread it all around. So come back into your mountain position in your chair, bringing together the wisdom of your right palm with the compassion of your left into Anjali Mudra. Take a few breaths in and out, knowing that we all have within us that divine oneness that can unite us even when things seem most bleak. And if they do seem bleak, you can always bring those palms together and offer your own prayers and blessings to those in need. I thank you for joining me today.